We are relics. But this is not the first time. Just imagine in IPL 2023, after RCB faced Delhi Capitals, Virat Kohli once again made an headline. They were all lining up for a handshake with the DC Capital mentor Saurav Ganguly. He walked straight past the former Indian captain without greeting or even shaking hands, having any surprised by the cold gesture. This was in 2023. Remember, it was Saurav Ganguly who actually supposedly axed Virat Kohli of his skippership, but also with versus Naveen-ul-Haq in 2023 during an intense IPL. In fact, I spoke to the former Afghanistan players and coaches, and they said it was just the heat of the moment with Naveen-ul-Haq against the Lucknow Super Giants, where the pacer tension got off to an ugly battle of harsh words. Also, Gautam Gambhir, if you remember, it was Gautam Gambhir that got him into the charge not long ago. So, Aaron, what do you make up of the series of every year? There seems to be one Virat Kohli moment which keeps us engaged and rather not look at the match itself, the outcome. Your views, Aaron?
Yeah, overall, if you talk about Virat Kohli, he is that energetic, passionate player who walks out to the field every run. For an example, if you closely look at him, when he used to bat, even if he manages to get a single in a tough time, he used to punch the air. So that's the energy, that's the passion he carries out to the field. And the smallest thing could really trigger him out because his focus is completely on the game. And when something happens out of the frame, it really disturbs him. But or overall, if you talk about the past years, keeping aside all of the incidents that have happened behind the scenes, on field, he has been a fabulous player. 37 years of age, still competing with the 20-year-old kids out there in the IPL. I believe still, keeping aside all the incidents, for me, Virat Kohli has been a legend. He is a legend throughout the past number of years, and he has made his back talk rather than his mouth. Very, very, yeah. You could point out few incidents which yesterday, where he tried to, get into a conversation with Travis Head and unfortunately threw away his wicket. But moreover, what he has done is he has let his back talk throughout the years. So if you go back and check the numbers, I'd say we need to just forget about all of those incidents. Yes, it could happen to any player with the heat of the moment, but I believe that it all comes out of the passion, the energy, and the love that he has for the game.
Well, absolutely. The love for the game remains. David Brooks, if you remember the discussion we had with David Gard, the legendary former English skipper at his residence, and he made one thing very pointed. If you remember that line he used, Virat Kohli is very good advertisement for the game of cricket. Would you still believe that?
Oh, yes. I mean, look, these incidents fade into insignificance against what he's achieved. Single-handedly re-established Test cricket in India. The appeal. Without him, I don't think the appeal of Test cricket would be anywhere near as great because he's galvanized the team. He's taken that energy and commitment into all formats of the game. But I think when he reflects on his career, he may regret incidents like that. I'd like to have seen him shake hands. He's big. He's big enough to have shaken hands with Travis Head at the end. Don't let it descend into that. And as for the young players watching, as a role model, he is a role model. He needs to take that aspect seriously and make sure that the passion and commitment and intensity he brings to the game doesn't spill over into snubbing the opposition or there's a line that you wouldn't want younger players to cross. Yes, by all means, emulate his commitment, passion, intensity. But as a role model, maybe Virat is not absolutely ideal in that. I wouldn't want younger players to take that forward because it's not necessary. And Virat Kohli he's bigger than that. And don't let it get under your skin. It's clearly what he needs to motivate himself. And I understand that. He needs to feel that element of competition, and probably wasn't much riding on the game for RCB in the sense that they had qualified. So maybe that was why he allowed himself to go down that route. But it did cost him his wicket. I agree with Aaron. It did cost him his wicket. And I think when Virat reflects on that, I'm sure he'll be uh, chatting and making it up with Travis Head in the near future.
Well, absolutely. It becomes like a very interesting point. Of course, he's become an entrepreneur. He knows exactly. We're talking about Virat Kohli and Travis had the incident last night, and also recapping some of the moments where he got into a tussle. Satish, at the end of the day, if everything is joined together like a piece of thread in pearls, do you think they'll kiss and make up and say another social media moment for the netizens there getting excited about, oh, now they've shaken hands, and this becomes more important than the actual game, as David rightly pointed.
Yes, it is, Sunil, like because it's a long tournament, so everybody is watching the match. But these offbeat incidences suddenly becomes a talking point, and it takes the real focus away from the game, and it also takes away from the monotony of the game, probably because it's a too long event. It's almost more than 2 months, but. Yes, as David rightly pointed out, these are not a very good advertisement for the game, but we have to accept in modern day game it is part and parcel of it, and then no longer it's a gentleman's game anymore, though we call it because if it is a gentleman game, I don't see any batsman walking off any even when there is a chance, slightest chance, they try to sneak in. Even Nicometer shows up, Nick, nobody moves around. So the game has moved on, and we have to accept and the reality that it is important to keep the fans and the social media abuzz, because that is exactly why IPL is where it is. It's not just the competition, it's not just the skills, it's not the number of players, the talent that's available, the young talents coming through, but this also adds up to that little pies that makes it a wholesome pizza. That gives you the taste. One bite will be different to the other one.
Well, absolutely. Satish, they're discussing, and of course, this